Good evening, everybody. Thank you for returning. Again, thank you for all the comments. And tonight, it's one of those really quick recipes again. I'm just going to do a chimichurri hummus soup. And so I'm going to dig right in and start with the chimichurri. We're going to go ahead and chop one shallot. And I don't really care how large the slices are because this is all going to go into a food processor. So that's just a very rough chop. And then we're going to add some jalapeno. And as always, you can designate how much heat you want in your soup by how many seeds you add from the jalapeno. So it's really up to you. Also, again, using a food processor, so I really don't care how large or weird looking these pieces are. And I'm going to add 3 garlic cloves, and I'm going to soak the garlic cloves in a little bit of lime juice that will help temper the pungency of the garlic. As it turns out, throughout this recipe, I'm going to be adding numerous garlic cloves, so I'm just going to put quite a few of them into this little bowl, because they'll be used in the soup as well as the chimichurri. And to that, I'm going to add some lime. We'll set that aside. And at this point, we're ready for our blender cup. So I'm just going to start putting things in here. And to this, I'm going to add some cilantro. There's no point in chopping this. Obviously, it's in a food processor. And I'm going to do somewhere around about 1/3 of a cup, I think. And now we're going to do the same exact thing with flat leaf parsley. We're going to add about 1/4 of a cup of this. And again, just pulling leaves off, it's all going to get blended up anyway, so it doesn't matter if you chop it or not. And now we are also going to add about 2 tablespoons of oregano. Again, not chopping it. Just taking it right off the stem. When I say 2 tablespoons or 1/4 cup or all these different measurements, what I'm really saying is once you chop it down, that's what it should equate to. Oregano has a tendency to overtake everything, so I'm going to stop right there. It's very pungent. And if you remember the garlic that was soaking in lime juice, we're just gonna add, I don't know, maybe 3 of those to this. And now we're gonna put this on the food processor. We're gonna blend this up. Just a quick taste test. A little bit of salt. So we have utilized the food processor. The only other machine we're going to use is the blender. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and start making the soup. So I have here some garbanzo beans. I'm going to strain out the juice. And just like we did to the bean burrito soup video, we're just going to add this right to the blender. Same exact idea, and we're going to be filling up things into the blender just like we did last time. Very easy recipes. Very quick. Come home, you're tired, you're hungry, just throw these together. And again, we're going to do the chicken stock. Same as before, this is hot water. I don't know how much I'm going to need to add. Garbanzo beans, when they puree up, you know, they become very, very thick. So I'm thinking a little more water this time probably. So I will flavor it with a little bit of chicken stock as we did last time. I don't necessarily want the flavor of chicken in here. I just want a background depth. That's all I'm going for, so I'm not going to add very much. The chimichurri has so much flavor in it that in no way am I going to drown that out. So just a little bit for depth, and that should do it. Now I'm not going to add that immediately because I don't know how much I'll need. I'll wait until it starts blending. So in the meantime, we'll put that to the side. And again, we're going to return to our garlic cloves that are soaking in lime juice. It's going to take out some of the garlic pungency, as I said before. We're just going to plop a couple of these in here. There's some in the chimichurri, so I don't want to go crazy with it. That's about 2.5. That's a little half piece. And we're going to add some tahini. And I never actually measure anything, but if you wanted to measure, there's a little trick you could use. And it looks something like this. So if you take your oil, this is the oil that we added to the chimichurri. If you take your oil, and let's say you were going to measure, you take your little, 1/4 cup measuring cup. Pour a little bit of the oil in there. And just kind of swirl that around. Then add your tahini, or whatever it is you're adding. If it's anything sticky like honey or molasses, anything like that. Oh, once you've oiled it, it will just come right out of the cup with no problem. And now we're going to add the juice of 1 lime. I don't necessarily want zest in this, just the juice. And actually a half a lime might be okay because there's quite a bit of citrus in the chimichurri. So let's just do a half a lime. And that's it. And now I'm gonna blend this up. I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil in here. Just a touch. There we go. And we're gonna blend it. We're adding our chicken stock. And now we taste. Oh, the texture is perfect. The amount of tahini was perfect. And there is nothing at all I want to add to this right now. I think what I'll do is I'm going to add a little bit of red wine vinegar to the chimichurri and probably a little bit of pepper. But the way the actual soup base turned out, I wouldn't touch a thing, and I'm not going to. So let's add just a touch of red wine vinegar, like I said, to the chimichurri. It's just gonna round out the flavor of the garbanzo beans a little bit. Like I said, it's absolutely perfect. So all we're gonna do is add a little bit of tang. And a little taste test. Oh, wow. Everything is going to go so perfectly together. I'm very excited about this. So, as we did in the bean burrito video, we have our bowl, we have our soup, and I really don't think I'm going to be able to eat all this, but I'll go ahead and try. And then I'm just going to pour the chimichurri right out of the food processor. And make a little drizzle. And now for the real test. This is the taste test. Oh my God. I've had a lot of soups, and I know this was quick, simple. It didn't take much time. But on the list of soups that I've ever eaten, I'm gonna safely say this is on the top 3. Oh my goodness, wow. So you could eat this with, pita chips, with naan bread, with really any form of, bready carbohydrate that you like, any kind of cracker, crouton. I honestly cannot believe the way this turned out. One of my favorite soups of all time. Anyway, if you want something very, very quick, very simple, you just go to the store or use whatever's in the pantry and kind of throw this together. This is unbelievable. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.